everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of Sofubi Sit Down. My name is Brian, aka Sofubi Samurai on Instagram, and if you follow me there, or if you know me in real life, then you know that I am a big-time Godzilla fan and toy collector. Now, I collect all sorts of Godzilla and kaiju-related items, but my focus really is on stylized figures, and that is going to be the main focus of the channel. I know there are quite a few channels out there that review NECA and SH Monster Arts and X Plus. Some of those are run by very good friends of mine, but there is not a lot out there showcasing the stylized stuff, and that is what I aim to do for the most part, starting with the next episode. Because yesterday, when I got home from work, these were waiting on my doorstep, just released by Super7 in their Ultimates line. We have Godzilla 1989, and we have Biollante. There was considerable hype about these when they were announced about a year ago, and over the last few days there's been a lot of hand-wringing in the community after some unflattering photographs showed up on the interwebs. Thank you, Christine, for that. So we must make our own judgments, however, correct? So to do so, we're gonna open these suckers up. So let's go. All right, we will do Godzilla first. So before we get to Godzilla, there are some accessories in the box. The hands that he comes with pre-attached, obviously, are different from these. You get 2 sets of, I suppose, outreaching hands, for lack of a better word. You get 2 big green Hulk smash hands for when he wants to punch Biollante in the face, apparently. You get only one battle damaged hand, so you can recreate that scene from the movie. Although I have not been able to do that as of yet, but we'll get to that later. You get this, which goes around his neck. It's a vine that's supposed to wrap around his neck like it's choking him out. And we can put that on him later and take a look at it. So that's that. And then you get an open mouth, head, I should say. And the head sculpt on it, I think, is really cool. I really like the head sculpt on both of these head sculpts that he comes with. Although, like, really, you couldn't articulate the jaw and just give him one head, or give him a different additional head, because I'm pretty sure the original packaging for this guy, or the original promo art, I should say, for this guy, did show that it comes with a different head with the Biollante sap on it. That was not in my box. I looked everywhere, so I don't know if I'm misremembering things or what, but I do seem to recall that at one point there was some sort of a sappy head, for lack of a better word. So that's the accessories. All right, let's take a look at this dude. This is how he comes out of the box, minus the tail, which you do have to attach yourself. Very easy to attach. It just pops right on the ball peg. No need to heat it up or anything, so that's cool. So then, well, we can look at the head sculpt, which, as I said, when we looked at the extra head sculpt, it's really, really well done. I really think the paint is very well done on the eyes. Obviously, care was taken on the paint. There's no smudging, there's no sloppy paint apps anywhere on the head. So all in all, very good. The head is on a ball peg, so he can do the full Exorcist. He can look up a little, but Godzilla doesn't really need to look up at all to anyone. So that's good, because he looked down quite a bit, which is nice. And you get a little bit of confused Godzilla face, which is also good. The neck also hinges on its own, so that's cool. The problem with the neck is that it kind of looks a little fat, like he's maybe wearing a turtleneck. So not the best there. I guess that's a little bit of the price you pay with articulation, although I still think could have been done a little nicer. Arms out to there, 360 around. The elbows, oh, he has a bicep swivel. Oh, hey, watch yourself. Both sides, he has an elbow bend that can get you hyperextended, and a full 90-degree bend there if you get it in the proper position. The wrists swivel in and out and rotate around. Not a lot of wiggle waggle, but they do swivel this way, so that's cool. Surprisingly, he has a waist swivel, which is cool. That can get you some maybe interesting poses where he's kind of turning one way and looking a different way. So that's kind of a cool addition. I'm actually surprised that they included that. Legs. I mean, how much leg do you need? You get nothing back. You get that front. You get a knee bend. That's his knee, not his elbow, which gives you a little. But again, he's Godzilla. He's not gonna. This isn't Godzilla 98. He's not gonna go running down the street, so he doesn't need a lot of leg room. And then you've got a bit of an ankle rocker up and down, and you do have a nice ankle tilt as well, so you can get him standing in somewhat different positions. The tail's kind of not well done, I don't think. It's on a series of ball pegs, but they stop here, so you can get it up like that, but you can't really get it anything else. You can't get it really perfectly straight. It's always a little up. As you can see, like, look, I'll show you. So you can't get it perfectly. Oh, look, maybe you can. All right, I'm gonna take that back then. So I was gonna give him a ding for that, but you can get it pretty straight. So that's that. Dorsals, very well painted. Pretty much all the way down. They look nice. You've got the charcoal gray, you've got the sort of bone color there. I don't believe any of this is painted. I believe that's just the plastic. There may be some paint on it, but the paint that is on it looks really nice, so I'm not gonna ding it for that. The hands are super easy to mess around with. They literally just pop off. And what are we gonna have him do? You wanna have him yelling, get off my yard, get off my lawn, you damn kids. So there's that. Head is also super easy, pops off on a ball peg. You can also then put this goofy thing on him, which I believe goes like that, and then the head slides down on top, and there you go. This thing here suffers from the same thing that you're going to see with Biollante, which is it's just kind of too glossy. So he's not. Like, his paint apps are fine. He's the right dull color that he should be. So that's cool. I don't really have any problems with this figure. All in all, I think he's decent. He's like a Trendmasters figure. It's in the feel. Like, it's basically like a deluxe Trendmasters figure. So that's kind of what you're dealing with him. All right, so let's take a look at Biollante. All right, Biollante. Let's take a look at her accessories, of which there's not a lot. She comes in an extra rosebud face. And this is the problem with this figure that we're going to get into. The colors are just, they don't go with the Godzilla. There's just too much glossy paint. So that's my first issue with this. Even on the leaves, it just looks a little too glossy. The second issue is these teeth just suck. Like, they're supposed to be like fangs or something scary, and honestly, man, it just looks like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon, like a singing flower from like one of those like 1940s Looney Tunes cartoons that you would see. It's just so goofy. So this is the spare head. This is not the head that comes on her. This one, I would never put this on. The other one, at least the mouth is closed. I don't know that it's that much better, but we'll look at that in a second. But I think it's better than this. Then she comes with two of these. These are exactly the same. They are her little biteys. In the box, they were attached here. And then they just sort of snap back together, but it's really kind of dumb, and I don't really see why they do it. So this is not something I would use either. I mean, other than maybe to have Godzilla holding one of them, maybe. But yeah, like the whole idea behind them, I don't really get what they're supposed to be or what they're supposed to do. So there you go. There's one there. But I mean, obviously it's just held on by tension. So, you know, I mean, it's on. I wouldn't necessarily think that it's going to hold up too much. If you have it on a shelf that gets bumped a lot, or the floor vibrates, eventually these are probably going to rattle off. But she does come with them. She has them already attached to her anyway, so these are just two extras, I guess, if you wanted to swap out. She does have a lot of swappable stuff. So let's take a look at her. All right, and there she is. So we'll start with the head on her as well. Same paint color as the alternate head. Teeth look a little better closed, I think. I think it's a little less silly looking. I mean, the whole idea of this, she's silly anyway, right? Like it's a giant Godzilla flower. The whole idea is kind of goofy, but that looks really goofy. You got nice paint on the leaves, you know, good detailing. Again, though, like, too bright. It shouldn't be as bright. It looks fakey. It looks plasticky. So, and then the thing that maybe should be bright, this, is really dull. And I feel like they missed an opportunity here to put in some kind of light effect. I mean, throw a light bulb in there and some batteries, and at least you have something kind of cool there, right? So, that's a missed opportunity there. All the leaves move for what it's worth. Her head can move up, can move down, can spin this way. It will not rotate around, which is fine. Then you have her vines. All right, so we'll take a look at this. So this, the mouths do open and close. So that's nice. That's as far as they're going to get. They spin there. They spin here. It spins here. And then on the back, you have a little bit of wiggle room. So that's that vine. Now we have this vine, which moves up and down. And that is it. So that guy just moves up and down. This guy wiggle waggles a little this way. A little bit. Moves. There's a hinge here, you can see. So you can kind of mess with it that way, but, you know, why? I mean, that's, some of the articulation's a little unnecessary. I mean, I guess that's a kind of a cool spot for that. You have this, which is similar to this one on a hinge here. Get out of the way. There. So you can wiggle and waggle that around a bit. It will completely spin. And that is the extent of the articulation on that hinge. So just basically that one point. On this side, you also have in and out, spins around, no further articulation on that. And then on this vine, you have up, down, spins, moves in and out, or side to side, however you want to call that. Hopefully you can see that. I think you could. I don't know, what am I, a expert film guy? All right, so that's her in a nutshell. There's not a whole lot to say about her. She's okay. This down here looks cool. Still more glossy than I think it needs to be. I guess she's in a swamp or whatever. Maybe she is supposed to be glossy. I don't know. I just think it looks like a plastic toy, which it obviously is, but I think just toning down the gloss on this would have made it just seem more alive, I think, than what it looks right now. So that's basically her. So let's look at them both together, and I'll give you my thoughts. All right, so here they are together. They scale well together. They look pretty cool next to each other, all in all. Like I said earlier, he does come with this hand, which is that battle damage hand that he gets from the movie where she stabs through his hand with her vine. However, I can't figure out a way to position them so that it actually works. So I'll try to mess with it here off camera. If I can get a good picture of it and actually make it work, then I will include that at the end when we look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that's the Super 7 Biollante and Godzilla 89. Now, maybe my expectations were lowered based on the terrible photos that I had seen a few days prior. But once they were actually in hand, I do actually like them. So let's start with the good. They're solid and well-built figures. At no point when posing them do I get the feeling something is about to snap off or be damaged somehow, and which definitely is not something that can be said from every articulated figure that's out there. And they are well articulated and pretty posable. So I think they're going to look good in a small diorama if you're the creative type. The paint on Godzilla, as I said, is really well done, especially his head, and the head sculpt is great. As for the bad, Godzilla's neck is a bit too big, and I am not crazy about the tail articulation. Both the Biollante heads are disappointing. The teeth specifically are very, very cheesy looking. And the ugly has to be the overly glossy look of Biollante. It does look like a toy and not a living creature, which is the biggest bummer of the entire set. So, do I recommend them? They were $5 each, which I feel is a bit overpriced for these. $50 to $60 each would probably be more appropriate. Like $100, $120 for the set would be perfect. However, there aren't a lot of Rose Biollantes to choose from, so if you really need one in your collection, maybe snap this one up or give it a few months and see if the price drops at your favorite toy outlet like BBTS or something. As for me, I'm going to build a little display diorama for them. I think that'll look cool, and once I do that, I'll be sure to post pictures on my Instagram once that's all finished up. So make sure you're following me there at Sofubi Samurai. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.